started things, they saved the best for last. That's where I'm going with that. All right, most of you in the room, or a lot of you probably already know our story. For the 6 of you that don't, I'll go through it really fast before I get to the good stuff. Avalon is a leukemia patient. In fact, she's the little one up, bottom row, second from the right. That was after one of her brain surgeries, hence the funky haircut. It wasn't any kind of a fashion statement. Avalon was diagnosed with leukemia at 17 months. She did 2.5 years of daily chemotherapy. She took pills, she had IVs, and she had chemo injected into her spine. The chemo injected into her spine left her with permanent brain damage. She produces enough cerebral spinal fluid for probably about half this room. So Avalon is, as of December 28, 2011, 5 years off treatment and considered cured. Why I'm here. I'm not going to go into any more about Avalon's medical stuff today, because like I said, if you haven't heard me before, I'll find you at some point some year. This morning what I want to do is tell you guys 5 things you can learn from Cancer Kids. And I have a cheat sheet. I'm sorry, I'm old. So, Cancer Kids are a fabulous, fantastic lot, and I've learned so much in the last 7 years from the kids that I've met, from my own daughter. First thing, see life for what it is. Cancer Kids do not live with rose-colored glasses. They see, oh, there she is. Are you awake now? The wonderful thing about Cancer Kids is that they just accept what is and they move forward. And it's something all of you can learn too. I asked our oncologist one time, why kids? Pediatric oncologists don't make a fraction of the money that adults do. And I said, why? Why kids? And he thought about it and he said, you know, because someday I want to grow up to be as noble as my kids are. What? And he said, kids are great. He said, adults, we whine and we moan and we think about the what ifs and the what haves and how awful it is. A kid will say, just give me the chemo, let me get back to my game. I'm like, all right, I can do this. And last year, if you happen to be here, which a whole lot of you weren't, because there's a lot more of you. Last year, I talked about a friend. She was a Buckeye. She was 20 at the time and was terminal. She'd been fighting for 6 years, and I read a poem that she wrote. And Angie was probably one of the most wonderful, life-affirming, fun people. She wrote beautiful poetry. She's published it several times. Well, one of the things that she wrote, my very favorite poem, was basically about having to pee. Now, if your high school AP Lit teacher got a hold of you, or your, 401 English got a hold of you, they would have said, oh, she was worried about going into life and being held back. And no, the fact is she was on IV fluids, was sleepy, didn't want to have to get out of bed, and wrote a poem about having to pee. It's just, that's what a Cancer Kid's life is. They just see it for what it is, they take it for what it is. The second thing about Cancer Kids is they're fiercely loyal. Cancer Kids will fight to the death for each other. Cancer moms are the worst bears on steroids you've ever met. And I tell you what, the other thing about Cancer Kids and their loyalty is we all know who our family is. Family is not necessarily just the people you're blood related to. Family are the people who stand up for you, who fight for you.
Okay.
Woo! Family and loyalty that I say to all of you is, as you go forward, find something that speaks to your heart. Find a cause. Now, I'm hoping it'll be Cancer Kids forever, but even if it's not, Find something that talks to you, that makes your heart sing, and work your butt off for it. Work the back of your front off for it. Because it'll never seem like work. Okay? I was in a whole different direction when she was diagnosed. Avalon is 5 years out from diagnosis, and she has lots of other problems now. The brain injury is called intracranial hypertension. She's also a traumatic brain injury. There's a lot of other things I could fight for. Cancer kids speak to my heart. We go to D.C. and we lobby and we talk to congressmen, which is really an utterly pointless activity, but we've come here for 7 years because all of you impressed the socks off of me. See, socks, no socks. So as you go forward in life, find something. If it's our kids, if you met our kids this weekend for the first time, and you really are impressed with them, great, fabulous. Grow up, be accountants and doctors and lawyers and business people and whatever, and write big fat checks. And go forth, but do something that makes your heart sing. Finally, or not finally, next to last, laugh. Now I know all of you probably expected me to come up here with a black shirt and a black skirt, and kids got cancer. It doesn't have to be like that. Cancer kids laugh a lot. And actually, relatively inappropriately. We have a friend, we were at an event at the Columbus Zoo with a teenage friend of ours, and she had relapsed again and her hair was coming out. And she said, oh, it's just awful, it's coming out in hunks, I look ridiculous. I said, it can't be that bad. She took her scarf off and I started laughing and said, you look like a Dalmatian with mange. To which, she nearly fell out of her wheelchair laughing, but the woman behind me that wasn't a cancer mom was pretty sure I'd earned a path straight, you know? But that same patient, when she relapsed that time, and unfortunately she's a bone cancer patient, and we don't, you know, a lot of them we lose, and she relapsed. Her relapse was a freckle. Her mother was literally the size of a freckle on her pelvis. Her mother was devastated. Life was over. This teenager took me aside and she said, listen, here's the deal. If I die, you tell people this sucker's the size of a basketball. I am not going down to a freckle. It is the size of a basketball. All right. It's okay to laugh. In your whole life, it's okay to laugh. Guys, life is way too serious. Every now and then, you just... It's okay to be a little weird even when you get old. It's alright. But my final lesson for all of you, live. Life is for the living. Don't get so caught up in the stupid things that you forget that life is fun. And that's something these guys learned from the very beginning. Every cancer kid there is unfortunately faced with the chance of not getting to live. Every last one of them. So while you have it, while you're here, don't waste it. Don't worry about what you don't have. Don't worry about where you didn't get to go. Don't worry about the guy that didn't call me last night. It wouldn't work it anyway. And neither was the girl that you called and didn't answer. So live. Enjoy it. Appreciate it. Angie would have told you the very same thing. And she did, often. So, my last words, well, okay, so live. At this point, I have to accept the challenge. I have a teenager. You were all teenagers. If your mother was worth her salt, if you tossed out a challenge, she would have taken it, so I will. In our house, I don't ever give false praise. So if I say to all of you, and when I do say to all of you how impressed I am with you, you can ask my kids, I don't give out false praise. If I say it, I mean it. When I really mean it, we do something called the Proud Dance. Now I don't know what's going to be on this tote board eventually, but I already know, by seeing the fact that there's twice as many kids here as last year, that you shook and danced and partied so much we were all convinced that the place was falling apart. So as a challenge to my teen daughter who doesn't think I will do it, it is now time to teach you all the Proud Dance. I want you to remember a couple of things. Tell people that you love them. matter to us very much. Laugh often and with great conviction. And for the love of God, when somebody says, OH, and remember, some days you just have to pee, but other days, you just gotta dance.